Halloween night and a district championship up for grabs. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Muenster Hornets Football Show. As we hit week 10 of the season, 2 weeks left in the season, counting this week. How crazy and how fast does it fly? It always blows my mind how fast the first 10 weeks or 11 weeks of the season, the whole regular season goes by, and then how slow the playoffs seem to go by. I think a lot of that's just simply because there's so much holiday stuff tied in to the playoffs, and also 6 weeks is still a long time. It's hard to believe, though, we're less than 2 months away from state championship. Muenster trying to get back there, but first tonight, they've got to take on Collinsville in a great rivalry and a great game for 8-2A Division II. All right, we're going to do what we always do, and of course, that's talk to the head coach of Muenster, Coach Brady Carney. We'll do that when we come back right here on the Muenster Football Show on L4 Media. Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. Terry Bennett back here on the Muenster Football Show, now joined by the head coach of the Hornets, Coach Brady Carney. And, Coach, you go to 3-0 in district. You beat Santo 28-0. Basically, you just jumped out on them early and didn't ever let them get out of that hole.
Yeah, we only got to play a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, you go back and you look at the box score and the stats and all that. It's kind of funny because – a lot of teams play us slow. They do some things to run the clock, and I knew that Coach Mann would do that at San Antonio. He did a good job of it. I think they ran 37 plays the first half, and we ran 10. I think the time of possession was 21 minutes for them, 3 for us. So we couldn't get the ball as much as we liked, but I think 4 out of 10 plays we scored, so we were very explosive, on the night. And, I thought we played well on defense, well enough. They were just running some fullback dive at us most of the time for 2-3 yards, and then it would take us, winning first down to put them in a bind a little bit. But I thought the kids played well for that half, and I thought defensively it was about as good as we played the run all year. So I was really proud of them and what they were trying to do.
How weird was it to non-district, that happens all the time, for it to be a district game and you're only able to play a half?
Yeah, Coach Mann he was okay with it. He was the one that his quarterback, he got hurt in maybe the beginning of the second quarter, and it was a Thursday night, and his superintendent, they had a long drive home, and he's like, man, we're going to give it till about 9:15. If we can't get back out there, then, we're just going to go ahead and call it and not worry about coming back. So I was a little surprised. But at the same time, I think district minutes kind of say something about it. The coaches agree. And then you probably need to max the points out, which we had with 28. So we were good there, and we were able to call it. So, yeah, I've never had that happen in a district game. Kind of glad that we didn't have to go back and try to finish it Friday or Saturday, to be honest with you.
Well, and that's, again, why everybody was moving the games up to Thursday, though.
Sure.
Y'all did get hit with weather on Thursday. But you go to 3-0 in district. Now it's one of the big rivals and also one of the best teams in district, Collinsville, the Pirates. 7-1 overall, 3-0. A lot of people thought they might take a small step back this year, but it doesn't seem like they have.
No, they are young. They do start a lot of sophomores, but they're very talented sophomores, and they still have a good mix of seniors. I think they start 4 senior offensive linemen, and then behind them is a lot of sophomore skill kids that are really talented. I think everybody thought they would take a step back, but in my opinion, I don't think they have. I think they're just as good a football team as they were last year. A little different on the offensive side with the Davidson kid at quarterback. He's more of a dual threat guy. He's not just a passer. He's a guy that can run the football and run it with a lot of success, and he makes them a little bit more dynamic on the offensive side, in my opinion. I think they're just as good, if not better, than they were last year. Very physical on defense. Those young guys fly around and make plays, man. So very well coached football team. Coach Patterson does a great job, and he's got another really good football team. He's going to have one for a lot of years in front of him.
I was going to say, dare I say, they look a lot like y'all did this group's sophomore year a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think they're bigger. They're bigger than these guys were sophomores, and just as talented, if not more talented than we were as sophomores. So I think that I think that's a very good comparison, and it's a team that's had success on the football field the last 4 years. I think they've been in the quarterfinals and won a couple of state championships in baseball. So those kids, the younger kids' expectations are high. The tradition's there, and that's how they play and that's how they carry themselves. So, it's a scary football team and definitely another challenge for us, which I feel like we get that every week. But so our kids are kind of used to it. So we'll see how we respond in that.
You're talking about your offense, and we've talked about this multiple times, just how few plays y'all get compared to your opponent. A lot of that's y'all's explosive offense. Have you seen players get frustrated, though, not being able to, get 40, 50 plays on offense?
Yeah, I don't know if they get frustrated so much as, it's concerning to me at times because we don't get to run a lot of offense, but at the same time, we're still effective in what we've been doing. I think Lindsay, we ran 39 plays. Ira, I think we ran 33. And then last week we ran 10. So we've probably scored more points than we've ran plays in the last 3 games. I don't know exactly what that means or what that says, except that we're explosive and we're taking advantage of our opportunities, I guess. But yeah, we haven't played a football game since Pottsboro or De Leon, where we probably ran more than 40 offensive plays. So, tonight I fully anticipate us probably running, our 50, 60 plays that we have to run in big games, and hopefully we can execute on those plays.
And as always, I want to thank Coach Carney for joining us here, and I think it's going to be a great game tonight. Collinsville, very young, but very talented, and as we talked about, a little bit of comparison to this Muenster class, the senior class that was sophomores a couple years ago. And we all remember, man, how that program, for me, you knew Muenster was going to be legit last year, was how they had played Albany in that playoff game with that sophomore class and should have beat Albany. I don't want to say should have beat, but we're at least, within a possession until at the very end. And Collinsville's looking for that right now. They want that season-defining win for this young core to not only give them the #1 seed, but to get them believing going into the playoffs. And I do believe this is a matchup we could see later on in the playoffs, especially with Lindsay. Seemed like going through some really tough injury issues. They're actually off this week. Hopefully the Knights will be able to get healthier, or as healthy as you can. So right now, to me, the top 2 teams of this region are Muenster and then Collinsville. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email the show, Terry@S2SSport.com. Also, if you'd like to be a playoff sponsor, we do think Muenster's going to be playing for a while. Please reach out to me, Terry@S2SSport.com, or you can text me 469-605-3658 and just say, hey, I'm looking to sponsor or be a part of the sponsor for Muenster. Again, my number 469-605-3658, or email me, Terry@S2SSport.com. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Next week, the final regular season show of the Muenster Hornet Football Show right here on L4 Media.